Hey guys, this is Edwin from the Recording Connection. We're going to be looking into creating modular synths. Now this is really cool because especially nowadays in the top 40 tracks, you have a lot of synth work and you could use this to your advantage as well. You're just using stock plugins, which is really cool. So what I did here is I brought up a vacuum. Very cool. It's a very cool synth. From the get-go, you start it up, you get the cool sounds, right? Right? Fun stuff, right? Now, keep in mind when you open a modular synth, you have different things such as oscillators. You have frequency controls, things like that, drive controls, things that are gonna help your sound, right? So let's create, first and foremost, let's create just the synth line, right? And I'm here, what I do is simply see what comes to mind, right? So for now, let's do here it is. Awesome. That's great right there. And it's as easy as that. Whenever you're creating, guys, don't overthink it. Keep in mind, you could always edit, right? Perfect. Here we go. Doesn't sound pretty. It's not meant to sound pretty, right? Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it pretty. We're going to actually really lock in on what it is that we want to do with it. Boom, boom. Perfect. So we have that line, very raunchy. Let's bring up the tempo so it won't go that slow. Perfect. Now let's bring up these controls. Now, what can we fix? What can we change here? It's really up to you. This is how you create this synth, right? Now, the first thing I would do, honestly, is change that grittiness, that raunchiness, that electric sound that I just don't want right now, right? So let's make sure we're on loop here. Guys, a great tip, a very cool tip that I've received that I would love to share with you guys is for bass sounds, modular synths are great. For that thickness, sometimes you're like, man, I want to get that sound that I hear in so-and-so record, but I'm trying to go through my bass patches and it doesn't come out the way it is. Well, because maybe it's used, most likely it's used on a synth, right? Cutoffs are very important. That's what I did here. Let's bring up my slope up to 18. Perfect. Let's give it some shape. And the cool thing about this, you guys, is that you guys could automate it. You guys are gonna find yourself, when you guys create sounds, make sure you guys save these sounds, you know? The way you save these, easy, you just you save them as your own sound through your library menu, which I'm sure you guys know how to do, which would speed up the process as well for you, right? Perfect, so let's actually move this again. the number one key to moving these knobs, it's not so much on, okay, let me first make sure that I know where this, how the signal flow is going. It's much more important to actually create, find those, move those knobs, even if you don't know what each of those mean. Even if you don't know, what does depth mean on modulation? What does destination mean, for example, What does pitch mean? What does that mean when you're modulating? Things like that. And as long as you guys stay in the same key, try to not change your semitones into half tones and things like that, because then that'll kind of throw your production off key, right? So guys, that is how to create a modular synth.